What is up? We are back. The Scoreboard Addicts, well, 2 of 3 of Scoreboard Addicts. I don't know what's going on with Nick. You all right, Nick? Oh, he's muted. No idea. But here we are back again. I can't hear him. Can you hear me, Nick? Not yet? Okay, cool. Well, Nick's dealing with some technical difficulties. I mean, what an absolute monster week, right? If you are a sports fan, we have the Super Bowl coming up. The 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, wait. There we go now. Yeah, right, buddy.
Weird.
No big deal. We worked through it. So, Super Bowl coming up, right, this Sunday. Everybody's excited. Whether you are a fan of football or you're just a fan of gambling, because this is, I guess, the day of gambling, right? The prop bets galore. It's just a little thing that you could do for fun to make it interesting. If you don't have to be really give a shit about the Kansas City Chiefs or the 49ers, or you're just a degenerate who thinks they're going to hit the $1 million bet like me. We get the Gronk kick again this year because last year was embarrassing.
I'm going to ask that we table that discussion because I did just get a message from Rook. He's running a little late, but he is, he's a degenerate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But
I did want to
get the Gronk kick again, right? So that was brutal last year. You would think that somebody that's been in the NFL so much and has been on a field so much would at least goof around. I think that's what I would do. Shit, even if I was just a fucking towel boy, I'd be like, yo, can I try to kick field goals? Like, just for the goof of it? So
how often are you near uprights like that where you get the opportunity? I mean, if you're a pro, then every day. But
right,
every day I would try to kick a freaking field goal.
Gronk is there every day, just for the fucking fun of it. Dude, tell me that's not a good way of making bets. You know what I mean? Like a dude, like dinner on me if I miss this kick. Any takers? Who wants to treat me to dinner?
That's like even pitchers and go to field like 5 balls and they even hit a little bit just to say I hit. Like how many times did you see a batter go onto the hill and be like, oh, I'm gonna strike this guy out. Right. And that guy can't pitch worth a damn, but you're like, I'm gonna do it anyway, just because.
Absolutely. So he's getting another shot at it. I guess we'll see how that turns out. Because last year it was kind of cheesy too. It was I thought it was gonna happen at the Super Bowl, and it was just like a pre-filmed thing, like at some random field. I didn't really have the drama that I thought it was gonna have. The pomp and circumstance. But we digress. We'll get into the Super Bowl a little bit later, but I know for me and Nick, it's all about the New York Rangers this week. I mean, taking on 2 playoff-bound teams, unless something catastrophic happens, right? And defeating the Avalanche, and then last night, absolutely smoking the Tampa Bay Lightning, which was great because my son's a little bit of a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. He's 8. I'm going to cut him some slack. He likes the logo. He likes the name. He can like whatever team he wants. I'm not going to be one of those dads, okay? It is what it is, but we got to make a father-son bet last night. I said if the Rangers won, he had to tell Papa, my dad, that I was the best, and that if the Lightning won, I would tell my father that Alex is the best. So, and he held up to his word. He ran to my dad and told him. So it was actually pretty awesome. But coming down the
I got to give the people what they want.
I always forget that. You're right. The organ and all. We're coming down to the trade deadline, dude, and a lot of rumors swirling around the Rangers. Is there anything right now that you see that the Rangers absolutely need, and somebody that the Rangers may need to move going in before the trade deadline?
I would like to see them get rid of Barclay Goodrow, but that ain't going to happen.
Yeah,
that's a bit of an albatross right now. So white elephant, right? That's what for those of you who don't know, white elephant is an investment that won't pay off. It's a huge investment that won't pay off, and it just kind of fucking just takes and takes and takes, like the Oakland Athletics, which is why their logo is in fact a white elephant. So Goodrow going would be good, but that's not going to happen. I see a lot of conversations. I see a lot of conversation about trading Othman for Vetrano, and I'm like, did we already have him?
So somebody, I don't know why, but somebody threw it out there like Othman and the Rangers' second round pick in 2024 for Vetrano. And it doesn't make sense. And it's not that Vetrano's not a great player, because I loved his time here and I wanted the Rangers to re-sign him. Obviously, it was a little too much of a cap hit for them. He didn't really fit into the team enough to where the Rangers would have moved somebody else to open up space to bring him in, right? To keep him. Listen, he plays with speed. He puts his head down. He grinds it out. He's a great player. He has offensive prowess, no doubt. However, if we thought that he was the missing piece, we would have found a way to keep him, right? We would have found a way to sign him. We would have moved money around and to trade away the future. And I understand that Ottman came up, 2 games so far this year? Am I correct? No goals, no assists, But again, that's not a fair assessment of his thing. But what was it, 2021? The dude scores 98 points in the OHL. And listen, he hasn't come close since then. But just knowing that that's in the tank, in what world are you giving him away? And the second round pick for Vetrano. That's ludicrous. All right. And then obviously also you have again the Rangers going down the Tarasenko road.
If I remember right, Vetrano, when we had him, a lot of speed with Vetrano, a lot of speed. But if I remember right, he would drive the net, never finish. He used to drive me crazy.
Little Scott Gomez vibes. He finished more than Scott Gomez. Scott Gomez, Jesus.
But
I love Scott Gomez. That man could take it coast to coast, but couldn't finish.
I recall watching Vetrano try to throw a triple deke on a goalie, like on a breakaway, and then just being like, dude, you had like 3 more inches to go and you lost the handle like in front of the goalie and just coasted it to the goalie. Like it would just drive me wild. I'm like, God damn it. Can we get somebody next to him that he can just pass the puck to at the last second? And it's almost like watching Babe Ruth crank a homer and see somebody else run the bases for him.
You know what? Give me 2 seconds, because I'm watching me on YouTube on the TV and my feed is blurry as shit. So give me 2 seconds, Nick.
It is. You're a little delayed as well, but I don't hold that against you.
I'll be right back.
But yeah, I keep saying conversations possibly Kakko moving, which I'm not a big fan of, just because I feel like Kaapo Kakko provides a lot you're seeing improvement as the year goes on. The guy got hurt this year. It was what can you really do about that? And I just have a nasty feeling that somewhere along the road, we're going to bring him back and we're going to rue the day that we let him walk. And that's definitely not something for me that I'm looking forward to seeing. I would hate for something like that to happen where he ends up in the realms of JT Miller, where we got rid of JT Miller. And then, years later, every single day we're hearing about how the Rangers are going to trade for JT Miller when they already had JT Miller. And I would hate for that to happen again with somebody like Kaapo Kakko. And you see that conversation was happening a lot with Alexis Lafreniere, because Lafreniere didn't start his career off with the Rangers as the next Connor McDavid, which it doesn't happen. Not often, at least. And, you kind of have to be able to roll with the punches and the struggles of young players, because a lot of these guys are still very, very young. They don't have the opportunities to sit, especially in New York, to sit back and like develop the way that they're supposed to. The NHL is getting a lot more like the NFL, where it's like you were drafted number 1 overall, number 2 overall. You better be Gretzky on day 2. And it's not fair. I definitely don't think it's fair, especially in a New York environment, a Canadian environment where they're like neck deep in hockey, to ask this kid that's 19, 20, and people will look at Kakko and go, well, he's been on the team for 4 years, 5 years, however long he's been on the team at this point. He's been on the team for a minute. And people will look at him and say like, oh, he's been on the team for a minute. He needs to be better than he is. And I don't disagree. But again, I would just hate to see Kakko end up like JT Miller, where we trade Kakko away and we're just hearing about Kaapo Kakko in 5 years. Every single time there's a trade rumor, like, oh, we got to get Kakko back, or we got to sign Kakko. And at that point, he's out of our reach, So I keep hearing Kakko's name in trade rumors. I don't know how excited I am about that, because I like the kid. I like his makeup. I've seen him change his style of play, get a little bigger, a little bit more physical as time has gone on. Obviously adjusting to the different sized rink when he came to America from what he's used to back home. That takes a little bit of time. To give him a season and a half to do that. He got hit by fucking COVID, like the COVID season. That really didn't help anybody, so to speak. And I think last season was like his first full like year skates under him on ice that was consistent. Because if I remember right, the year before we had that beef with what's his face benching him in freaking playoffs inexplicably.
Yeah. So I'm with you. You don't want to see Kakko leave and then become the player that we hope he would be, right? Second overall pick in the draft. It's just, it would suck, but he's not the player that he should be, right? He hasn't developed yet into that game that a second overall pick should develop into. I mean, he's 22 years old. It's not a foregone conclusion that he's like, oh, it's so old. Listen, he's a young guy. He could still develop. Absolutely. It might take him till he hits 23, 24, but if we trade away Kaapo Kakko, I expect to win the cup this year. You know what I mean? I expect to win the cup. And the same thing if we had, right. I feel the same way if we ended up trading Othman, it would suck. I really want to see that kid wear the blue sweater and, be the player that we're hoping he's going to be, right? Be that guy from 2021 in the OHL, 98 points. But if we moved him as well, if we win a cup this year, next year, it works out. But if you don't win a cup, then what the hell was it the point? You have to get the win. You have to get the cup. You have to hoist it in front of the Garden Faithful to make it worthwhile. And, dude, that's not an easy decision. I mean, the Rangers front office and Drury is going to have to kind of evaluate that situation because I think Ranger fans are going to be absolutely pissed. Maybe not with the Kakko trade. I think Ranger fans are kind of split down the middle with it's getting to the point where we're waiting too long, move him if he has value, and the rest of us, which I think me and you are in the same camp, that, listen, don't give up on the kid yet. He's got heart. I mean, look at Lafreniere this year. Lafreniere has been on fire the past couple of weeks. He's doing everything you expect him to do. It sucked, that reverse hit, and what's his name gets hurt.
Hedel.
No, not Hedel. I'm talking about last night in the Tampa Bay game.
I missed the game. I was out.
Whatever. I can't think of the guy's name right. Sergachev, maybe. Ends up getting carted off the ice. But Lafreniere did nothing wrong on that one. Nice reverse hit, but just the ability to be in the offensive zone, have his head up, know who's around him, and keep the puck on his stick while getting hit. That's something you want to see, right? And he's not exactly the biggest guy out there, but he's starting to figure out how to throw that body that he has and use his strength to his advantage. He got absolutely robbed last night on a pass from Panarin. He was breaking to the post, and Vasilevsky just slid across the net and did what he does, man. Tremendous goalie. Speaking about goalies, we have an issue. Not really an issue, but the Igor Shesterkin, man, the space between his ears. I see Rook looking at me like he wants to be like, I told you so. I swear to God, Rook, I don't want to hear from a Devils fan.
Two things I have to say. Like, one, Rook, when I logged in, like, what were you laughing about?
Wow, when I first saw when you were over there?
Yeah, no, just now, like he was talking and you came in on this thing and you started laughing about something.
Oh no, I was pretending to be like, I didn't know I was supposed to be here. Type of thing. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah, I
absolutely love it.
Oh, do I? Yeah, it happens.
Other side. There you go. I went to the dentist yesterday. Just want to point out, guys, two very important things. All right. Yesterday, I went to the dentist. And for the 36, for the last 29 years, I've had the same teeth, cavity free for the last 29 years. I've never had a cavity in my life, but obviously baby teeth fell out. But I'm only going to claim the ones I got right now. 29 years cavity free. And then also, I don't know if you guys took a gander at the old Facebook. Today is my anniversary. Today's my 17th year of service.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have Facebook.
15 years. Joined in 2007.
Way to be.
Beautiful.
My service is you're underage still.
Hell yeah.
Listen,
if you hit the button.
I'll give myself a little.
Hit the button.
That's so self-serving. Disgrace.
I'm all right
Well,
with
I
it.
mean, if we're gonna bring up, let's finish off the goalie stuff. So, Shesterkin's sitting on the bench. Jonathan Quick playing like he wants another cup, man. I mean, holy shit, is this guy good? Like he just oozes excellence, man. It's just he's a fucking brick wall. Oozing machismo, right? He's gonna be the bad guy, right? The more Igor sits on the bench, he's gonna be the bad guy. So, but if you keep winning, you got to ride the hot streak at this point. And I don't want to sit there and say that now Shesterkin's on the bench and Quick is number one. That we know that's not the case. But as long as Quick is doing what he's doing, you got to ride it, right? And he's been doing it all year. Like, look at his stats; it's insane. So
it's almost as if they were, like, I wonder if somebody like a couple months ago had said that there might be a goalie controversy this year, but like I don't know, maybe someone.
The guy was a Devils fan, so who gives a shit what he thinks?
True.
That's that. I called it. I said it was going to happen because he was playing really well, and Igor was not. So I said this was coming.
This is the thing, though.
That was nuts.
Igor is not playing bad. He's just not playing as the best goalie in the league or top 3 goalie in the league right now. He's not. So that's the issue, right? We're looking at Igor and we know something's wrong. We know he's not playing to the caliber that he has played since he joined the league, right? Since he got on the Rangers, since he's been in between the pipes, since he started as our starting goalie, he's been lights out. Okay. As far as Vasilevsky goes, he's been lights out too his entire career. And now Igor's stumbling this year. And they've been 1-2, I want to say, for the past 2 seasons easily. But he's struggling right now, and I think it's just the headspace between the ears, right? I think he's just the confidence is down a little bit, and he's got to get back on that horse. However, you can't force him out there and take L's when you got to ride Quick's hot streak. You have to keep him between the pipes. You're going to give him a day off here and there, maybe every 3rd or 4th game, but and get Igor out there. But until Igor shows you that, like, oh shit, there he is, he's back, he found himself.
Yeah,
I think you go Quick.
I thought the All-Star break or the All-Star weekend was actually good for him because there was a couple.
Yeah, the shootout thing.
Game, but there was a shootout, and he had a couple of really good stops. And even during the game, I know like they gave up 5 goals, but it's 3-on-3. It's open ice, not much defense.
Nobody's playing hard defense. Nobody's annihilating people.
Yeah, but giving up 5 goals in that kind of situation is still pretty good. And he made a couple of really good stops during the All-Star game. I'm like, this might be a way to wake him up and get him going.
Right.
Obviously, we haven't seen it. They said he's doing extra work with one of the coaches. I can't remember the coach's name, but they said he's doing extra work with the coaches while Jonathan Quick. And that was the whole plan, was to give him the break, let him do the All-Star weekend when he comes back, play Quick for the first 2 games to give Igor some time after the All-Star weekend. And Quick's been so hot lately. Now it's like, man, we just ride the hot hand going into tomorrow.
So this book right here was written by Gilles Villemure, and it talks about how he and Ed Jacquemin split the Vezina trophy back in 70-71. And it's kind of like what we're talking about, where Shesterkin's not playing bad. It's just that Quick is playing out of this fucking world right now. It's crazy. It's absolutely
12-4-1 or something like that.
Something like that. And it'd be wild if it was a replay of this right here, where we had 2 of our goalies split the Vezina. I'd lose my freaking mind. I mean, that would be nuts. In modern hockey, for something like that to happen, that'd be out of this world.
Yeah, it would be.
Well, my question is, if they both play half a season and Quick with the stats, if the stats continue the way they are, can he win the Vezina by himself?
What would be the qualification for games?
I really don't know, because a team that's winning, right, and all signs point to the Rangers going into the playoffs unless something insane happens. But a winning team, I don't think, has ever had that situation where you split 50-50 the time, unless there's been injury or something like that. But with 2 healthy goalies, and you're kind of playing starter 1 and starter 2, like 50-50 right down the middle, I can't think of a time that's taken place where both, in a situation where they're both healthy and winning.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now to see how this works.
Yeah, we'll look it up, because my father's blowing up my phone right now. I don't know why he doesn't just jump on YouTube on his phone and type away so he can throw his comments up. But he starts with "This is Dad" because he texted me from my mother's phone. It's like, obviously, if the second sentence is Kako, so I know my mother's not talking to me about the Rangers. She's probably sitting on the couch rolling her eyes, wondering why, my father's even watching us right now. Like, oh, the hell with your son.
You don't talk
He's
to
been
that
around
kid
for 36 years. We're done with him.
It's kind of
he's interesting.
It's happened a few times because I think it used to be the rule was it would go to the team with the least amount of goals. That's why they shared it. I don't think it's
Okay.
Like since 1981, only one person has won it. Like each year, I'm saying one person per year. I think that's why you can't. I don't think you can do it anymore as what it historically was. Because like there's a bunch of years here. You have Tony Esposito and Bernie Parent. They're from the Blackhawks and the Flyers. They both won it. You have Tony Esposito and Gary Smith from the Blackhawks. They both won it in 71, 72.
Well, my father said Chico Resch and Billy Smith for the Islanders.
Fuck the Islanders.
So hold on, let me read the
Glenn Hall and Jacques Plant for the St. Louis Blues in 68, 69. So it must have used to go to whoever the
fewest goals allowed in the league per team. But all right, so this is my father's take on the Rangers. Kako is probably the best Ranger to handle a puck along the boards and keep it. He needs to be in front more to get him to score. I agree. The scoring needs to get up. The offense needs to get up. But no, he's not a detriment to the team when he has the puck. He gets the puck in deep. He's a two-way player. He does all the right things. It's just you got to get the points on the board, right? You can't leave it all up to Panarin. Rangers looking at players they already had. Again, several would be rentals for the remaining season. Move Miller for a power scoring forward. I agree with moving Miller because I just don't think he's not going to pan out. He's not going to be the player that he was his first year and a half, 2 years, because he's fallen off hard. And
ever since he spit on that guy.
Yeah, literally. Ever since he spit on that dude, it's just you see people behind him, and he's very tentative with jumping in on the offensive plays. So moving Miller would be fine with me. I wanted to see him moved in the offseason because of how bad last year was. Let's see. Laugh has a finishing problem, hits a lot of the post, gets robbed on occasion. Yeah, but you know what? At least he's taking high-quality shots and good shots. You know what I mean? The goals will come. I'm glad, and we've been on the Laugh train. Lafreniere's been our guy. We've been saying everybody giving Lafreniere shit and move him. They wanted to move him last year. They wanted to trade him earlier in the season for fucking Patrick Kane. How's Patrick Kane doing right now? Take a walk, everybody that was on that fucking trade him for Kane. Suck it.
Suck it.
My father said, congrats, Nick, your continued service, and play quick against the Blackhawks Friday. Hot hand wins. I guess we'll see.
So back to the business. So 1965 and 1981, it would go to any goaltender who played 25 or more games for the team, allowing the fewest goals against. Okay. And then 1981, it started being that it was voted for to the goaltender with 25 or more games. There's the William M. Jennings Trophy, which is a new trophy, and that goes to the two goalies who at least have played 25 more games each of the lowest scoring team. So I think we've seen that.
That's what I thought, because the Vezina Trophy, as far as we've been alive, has always been like the best goalie in the league, not the fewest goals against.
Yeah, like the Boston Bruins won last year, Linus Ullmark, Jeremy Swayman. 2020-2021, Marc-Andre Fleury and Robin Lerner for the Vegas Golden Knights. So, yeah, that goes to more than two, unless they don't have the 25 games qualifier. So, 1 year, Jonathan Quick won the Jennings Award, 2017-2018 for the Kings, because he was the only one who had 25 games or more. So, to clarify for everybody.
I like it. Like the clarification.
Yeah, we're educating people every day.
That's it. Absolutely. So, I mean, listen, the Rangers are doing very well. As Ranger fans, I think we're spoiled in a sense. And obviously we haven't won a cup since 94. Thank God we were all alive for that. It'd be nice to see one for the Jets, but, I'll take another one for the Rangers. That's fine with me. But what I mean by spoiled is the Rangers are always in the mix for the playoffs. As far as me being a Rangers fan, we've never had that lull where we went 10, 12, 13 years without seeing the Rangers at least getting into the first round of the playoffs, like a lot of other teams. I mean, what was it? The Islanders went The Islanders went from just a decade of dominance in the 80s to just missing everything. And then when they made the playoffs, it was an immediate first round exit. Like they'd get 5 games out of the first round at most, and that was it. So the Rangers are very fortunate. We've Jim Dolan, like him, don't like him, whatever it is, he spends the money, he puts good people in charge of the Rangers, and they make moves. So I think the Rangers have a real shot to make a run. I think it built confidence getting those wins against the Avalanche and Tampa Bay this week. It's after right. We're past the All-Star break. This is the nitty-gritty. This is where every fucking point counts. So I like where we're at right now. I would love to add Vetrano. I would love to add Tarasenko again, but I guess we'll have to see.
And the fourth line played really well last night too, and you don't get the top production from the top guy, so that's pretty good.
Dude, Jimmy V, right? Have a night, kid. That little butter shot backhand over Vasilevsky's shoulder was just, it was like holy. And then the smile with the missing tooth. It's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Hockey player through and through, missing tooth.
I love it, dude. I love it. Listen, and I'm very critical of Jimmy VC because he was a ghost for most of this year. He's one of those guys that are out there and never on the score sheet, but kind of like Barclay Goudreau. But Barclay Goudreau was just never on the score sheet. At least Jimmy V gets out there every once in a while, and shots like that, instill a little bit more confidence going down the stretch.
Yeah. And did you guys talk Knicks while I was away?
No, we didn't. Ken. I'm not gonna lie, I love the big Nick energy thing.
I do love that too.
Dude, I love it. I love it, but when's the last time we played that promo? It's been a little bit.
Because we don't really talk about it. I figured I know TJ loves basketball, so that's why
I'm watching the Knicks right now, actually.
Dude, I love basketball so much.
I
sit back and just listen to you guys talk about it.
There's like no one playing right now because they just had a trade. Those guys didn't come over yet. Bogdanovich, I can't pronounce it. And Alec Burks is back. Alec Burks is back in the Knicks. You got add a little depth there to the team, make a nice move. Maybe we have injuries obviously right now. Randall, OG, and Brunson. Brunson's out. But I'd rather be cautious with him because soon the break's coming up. Make sure he gets back. He's fully healthy. Hopefully him and Randall don't play in the All-Star game so they don't get hurt further. I don't think Randall's going to play in both All-Stars.
I think getting hurt in the All-Star game is the stupidest fucking thing you could possibly do.
Especially in basketball because no one's trying really. Like, what are you going to do?
It really is. It's like you literally pulled a hamstring like doing nothing.
Yeah.
That's such a basketball type thing. Like,
yeah, I agree. But no, I'm loving the Knicks right now. I love watching this team. It's fun. It's about time to have fun while watching the New York Knicks. And this is even last year too. Last year was a good team too. Just to see them, competing is just great. And they're the 3 seed right now. Embiid's hurt. We don't know how long he's going to be hurt for. The Bucks have Doc Rivers as their coach. They're 1-4 since firing their other coach. So it could work in the Knicks' favor. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But
they're down right now, 44-35. Not bad, missing their top 3 players. That's not terrible against a Dallas Mavericks team, which traditionally is a pretty good team. Obviously, Kyrie Irving on that Mavericks team, although not really the Kyrie Irving that we're all used to.
He's been playing really well this year, though. He's been playing like old Kyrie. He's been playing Nets Kyrie.
When he's not busy, there were too many Jewish people for the Nets for him to focus on basketball. So
they destroyed the Nets the other day, though. Look at Doncic and thanks TJ.
Big Tom, I said getting hurt in an All-Star game is a pretty basketball thing to do. And Big Tom sent me a text message just now that said, ask Ray Fosse. Ray Fosse being the catcher that got laid out by Pete Rose and pretty much ended his major league career at an All-Star game back when baseball was great.
But All-Star games made, they actually mattered then, right? Like I feel like
you guys did not watch the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl was horrible. I didn't
have a chance. I was away. How could I watch the Pro Bowl?
You were away, but they had.
I never watched.
I would have watched the Pro Bowl, but I would have watched the Pro Bowl because our dear friend Jason Sweaty Palms Negron from Madison Square Garden was the MC for the Pro Bowl, and had I been home, I would have watched it for him.
That's true. I forgot about that, but
technically he's not a friend. He's family, right?
Because your eyes would be bleeding from watching paint.
Jason is in fact one of my groomsmen.
That's true.
And I don't think we've brought this up. But before we bring it up, I think we're done talking about the Knicks right now. The Knicks are on fire, and we love it.
Just enjoy it. We're enjoying the Knicks. We're done. It's a quick little talk about the Knicks. Just enjoy it. Have some
Go to
fun.
New York.
Run. That's it. Same thing we hope for the Rangers.
Yep, same deal.
Yep.
Whiskey of the week.
So we're talking whiskey of the week, right?
Awesome.
And it's a perfect time to bring up. We've got some big things happening this summer. The boys, we're rallying the troops.
We buzzing.
Road trip to Louisville. We're hitting Bourbon Row this summer. We're bringing all the GoPros. We're making all the content. It's for my bachelor party. It's going to be legend. Wait for it.
I'm allergic. Lactose intolerant. Dairy.
Legendary. I thought I had a button that said legendary, but I don't. I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's going to be special. You got Rook and myself trying to plan just an epic evening of, pillow fights and girl talk and possibly transgender strippers. That's exactly what Nick wants out of the deal. And then when he's done with that, Rook's hiding his face because we're not going to get canceled for it. It's okay, Rook.
I have daughters. What's wrong with you?
In all reality, we are hitting Whiskey Row. We are hitting distillery after distillery, and then going to wander into the Louisville Slugger Factory, and somebody's going home in a cast.
They give you a free bat when you go in. So
do they?
Don't get hit. Yeah, they give you a bat just for going.
Oh my God. Somebody's definitely getting hit.
Yeah, I'm beating the shit out of somebody.
Remember when they used to get, not to break away, but you remember when they used to give out like real full-size bats when you went to bat day?
A bat? They don't do it anymore now?
No, they give you like the little Billy Club one.
They used to give you like a 30-inch bat back in the day.
Yeah, I know they used to give the full-on bat. Yeah.
They had like a player's autograph on it.
Yeah.
Right. And now they give you like the Billy Club. And then if you get caught like walking home from the stadium by a cop, they're like, hey, what is that? It's a felony, guy. Can't be walking around with that. Which amazingly I didn't realize is, if you have a baseball bat in your car, just like a baseball bat with no glove, ball, bat, like rather a bat bag, all that stuff, you can get jammed up. They can treat that as a weapon, which is insane.
It's not a baseball bat. Hold on, it's not a baseball bat. It's a bat that I use to take the tires off my truck when I have a flat.
I like it. But anyway, shooting down little whiskey action. We're just going to be spoiling ourselves.
It's a road trip too. So how many great diners or dives are we going to hit on the way down?
Not many. You guys got to get to the Kentucky. I haven't started to
we have to get to Kentucky, but we also have to get to our tea time, which we're going to have to make because obviously if we're driving, we're bringing our golf clubs. So we'll go ruin a golf course in Kentucky. But yeah, back to whiskey of the week. I am going with.
I brought one. I actually did.
Michter's. I'm surprised. I got excited when I see Rook bust out his bottle, but I'm going with the Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. Wanted to spice it up a little bit, get the little rye and the taste of fennel and just that spiciness. Warm you up on a cold night.
Do you even know what fennel is?
They put it in
Irish.
sauce.
I do.
Oh, all right.
Come on, guy. So yeah, dude, this is just a fantastic pour. I love everything that Michter's pulls out, and we will be visiting the Michter's distillery when we go down there. Hopefully this is on the menu because Michter's, you can bottle your own whiskey while you're down there. So every once in a while, they do have the barrel strength on the menu, which I would be ecstatic about. But this shit is delicious. I'm usually a bourbon guy. I'm not a big rye guy, but this thing just bangs. I'm not going to get into the minutia of the flavors and stuff like that because all I'm going to do is get roasted by Nick. Speaking about roasted, it's a very roasted malted flavor to it.
Tastes like vanilla.
It does not taste like vanilla. Listen, it's a rye. The spice comes through a lot more. There's a little bit of hint of caramel, a hint. But this is definitely a more bold whiskey, if you will, but absolutely delicious. I think 110.4 proof, but can't go wrong with Michter's. Rook, break it down. I seen the Penelope bottle. I am excited.
Penelope is always very good. I actually randomly found them when I went into the local freehold ShopRite liquor store. and they were doing tasting for Penelope. And I tried all of them; they were very good. So this is the.
How's your wife feel about you tasting Penelope?
Brunch.
This is the Penelope toasted.
Got him. Got him.
The whiskey guy could have had nothing to follow up with it. It's bad. It's like really good. I had it the other day. Very good. It has that toasted, that flavor. Like the char with a little bit of smoky to it. Very good. I'll try to say what flavors are. I think there's a little bit of vanilla.
Is that the regular toasted or is that the barrel strength toasted?
It's the barrel finish toasted.
Yeah, well, that's what toasted is. They finish it in a second extra roasted barrel. But what's the proof on it?
50%.
Okay, 100 proof. Beautiful.
Yeah, 100
Nick,
proof. Yeah, 50%. Perfect.
You got something sitting there on the desk?
Yeah, I do. I'm just drinking your good old-fashioned Johnny Walker double black. Oh, I gotcha. You thought I was drinking regular black, double black.
Nah, as soon as you lifted the bottle, you could tell.
Because it's black.
It's like
Indeed.
double black.
Regular Johnny Walker black is clear. Double black has a black bottle, which I actually do like. It's like a dark blue, actually. You know what I found the other day? First of all, let me just say double black is better than regular black. There's a little sourness to it. So if you're into Johnny Walker, this one's going to taste a little bit sour. That goes along with the smoke. It's very sweet. Have some Johnny Walker double black. It's some sweetness. I made a penicillin with this when my fiance and I were sick. And she was just like, what was that? That was fucking delicious. And I was like, that was Johnny Walker double black. And she was like, what the fuck is double black? I've never heard of this. She's like, that was amazing. And obviously penicillin's got honey and ginger and stuff in it, but still it's just complimentary to the liquor. And you could drink this. I like drinking, again, I like cold liquor, so I'm always gonna have an ice cube. I don't like drinking hot liquor. It just bothers me. I don't like the flavor. It just messes me up. Plus, if you ever go to like a Johnny Walker tasting, they'll sit there with an eyedropper and just drop water, 1 drop, 2 drops, and they'll go watch all the flavor changes as you just put 1 drop of water in there, 2 drops of water in there, and it's all of a sudden you're going through a whole, flavor change, the everlasting gobstopper of flavor changes where it just changes colors and you just see the rainbow as you're going through whatever it is you're tasting. And I'm also, if you ever go to the Johnny Walker tasting, I'm a firm believer in what they say is drink it however the fuck you want. If you want to take Johnny Walker Blue Label and throw it in some Coke, that's your fucking prerogative. I'm not going to recommend it, but that's your deal. Whatever.
I've seen some crazy shit on TikTok, right? And I really, in my heart of hearts, want to believe that these people are just refilling bottles with like cheaper whiskey. But you know how many times I've popped on TikTok and like somebody's like, oh, hey, what do you think Pappy 23 tastes like with Coke? Let's try it out. And it's like, you motherfucker. Like,
well, you know what though? Listen, if you can afford it,
you bought it.
That's your business.
You right, exactly, dude.
Don't do it to mine though.
You do what you got to do.
Yeah,
No,
it's
bro.
Same thing with steak. It's the same thing with steak. If you like your steak well done, more power to you. Throw some ketchup on that bad boy. Have a day. Just don't fuck my steak up.
Yeah, but see, there is the quandary there, right? The issue being that if you do go to a steakhouse and you order a steak well done, you will most likely get told no.
I'll tell you right now, if I'm paying for it and you tell me no, I'll burn your fucking restaurant to the ground. Something's getting cooked.
Well, I think it's more the fact that that chef is not going to allow a subpar product to go out that represents him or the restaurant.
But it is subpar if the person that's eating it doesn't enjoy it. So if I like my shit well done, if I want a charcoal briquette and you give me anything but that, you're going to get a bad review. That's what I like to eat.
You're bumming me out. Let's go on to the Super Bowl. I'm getting bummed out.
I'm just saying. I did want to give you a little kind of good news to you guys. So I was cleaning out my liquor cabinet and I found like 3 bottles of Trip Sec for some reason. I don't know why. You want to know what I found? 2 other things. One of them I'll review on the show. I'm not going to say what I found. That's like super special, but I think we talked about it very briefly. But I'm not going to say it right now. I'll share it next week when it's my whiskey of the week.
I believe you told me about it.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I also found a bottle of Blue Label, a full bottle of Blue Label.
Nice.
Don't even know where it came from. I think it was a gift for my birthday, maybe like 2 years ago. From
No, I forgot that at your house.
Oh shit! I knew it. I knew it belonged to somebody. But yeah,
I think we got to do something for going away or something like that. We might have. Is that what it was?
That was platinum. We drank it that
Yeah, we
night.
got him platinum.
I'm glad you can remember. We drank it that night.
I was drinking that night. So.
That was a great night. That was the first night we went to Morton's. But I also found, and I'll review it in the weeks to come, a bottle of a sipping rum. And you know how I feel about sipping rums these days. It was pretty solid as well. And I'll review that in 2 weeks because next week's going to be the special one. It's special, but not so special. It's special now. It wasn't special when it came out. And isn't that the best? Like when you buy a fucking pack of baseball cards and in 50 years, that fucking Andy Pafko card is worth fucking $50,000. And you're like, he was a fucking backup. Why is that one worth $50,000? Same deal. That's what I got going on in my liquor cabinet right now. But that we drive on. I'm going to go real fast and real furious. All right, real fast and real furious. Spring training starts and pitchers and catchers for the Yankees report February 15th. That's next Thursday, while the Mets start on Valentine's Day, which is the 14th. The first full squad workout for the Mets is the 19th. First full squad for the Yanks is the 20th. The Yanks still need a pitcher. Trevor Bauer still out there. Real fast, real furious, gentlemen. Do you think the Yankees should go after Trevor Bauer, knowing that he still has 3 pending court cases that are civil, mind you, pending?
Civil, not criminal. And he was the woman
Quitted.
dropped it.
Yeah.
And also,
absolutely. He blew holes in it, and then he was able to go on record because he told the court that if this gets dropped, the only way I'm signing this agreement, that it's over with if I can talk about it. And if you watch that YouTube video that he put out, he lays it all out there very easily, and it's obscenely scary to know that could have happened to any one of us. You just run into some psycho that had the only intention is to have a gotcha, I'm going to take your money because I'm a piece of shit moment.
And also, he said he would take the veteran minimum and work only on incentives. And if he gets in any trouble, you cut him immediately. If he put all that into a contract, I'd be like, fuck it, let's try it. See what happens if you're in your deal.
I mean,
I'd throw him some money. I'd throw him more than a veteran minimum. I would throw him some cash, but I would definitely give him the incentives of, you get us 14 wins. Absolutely. We're good with that. You know what I mean? But yeah. He's been keeping busy, right? He's on that YouTube. His YouTube channel is pretty funny. He's always throwing the ball around. So he's definitely in semi-decent shape as far as, it's all appearances go that we can see. But why not take a roll? If we're going to fucking roll the dice with Marcus Stroman, who's probably going to block us by February 16th, block this podcast Twitter, because I feel like that's a rite of passage. If you're a knowledgeable baseball fan or podcast, you're going to get blocked by Marcus Stroman because he's just a sensitive soul.
I would say no to Bauer simply because I do recall him being taken out of a game, and before his manager could take the ball from his hand, he threw it in the bullpen.
Oh yeah, how about that?
And to me, it's bad enough we have Stroman. It's bad enough we have Verdugo. People that continuously get in trouble with their teams, with their fans. We're going to bring in Bauer. We're going to sign Tim Anderson.
Let's get nuts.
Let's bring back Tim Anderson. Let's bring in Tim Anderson. Let's bring back Donaldson. We could have we could be the New York assholes instead of the team on the field can match the fans in the stadium. And we could see who's going to fuck with each other worse. That would be some reality TV. I'd watch that.
I'd watch it.
But I'm not into that. But that's baseball. We're done with baseball because we have bigger fish.
Wait, can I do one quick point? The Yankees could have had Corbin Burns, but they wouldn't give out Spencer Jones. So once again, prospect hugging by Cashman. I know everyone's high on Spencer Jones, but he's a prospect. Who knows what's going to come up with him? If honestly he's the next Mickey Mantle, keep him. But Corbin Burns is the guy who could have put them over the top. Got another pitcher. I think it's crazy, but that's just me.
Mickey Mantle played shortstop. Now, we're obviously not talking those teams, but that's our football intro. By the way, my comment of Mickey Mantle played shortstop is a reference to the fact that Mickey Mantle, before he played center field, was a shortstop that had Chuck Knobloch syndrome and could not throw to first base. He kept hitting kids in the third row.
Either way,
first base.
Exciting. That's exciting stuff.
So Spencer Jones being naturally a outfielder completely absolves him of ever possibly being Mickey Mantle because I don't think he's a switch hitter and he doesn't play shortstop.
Are you ready for some football?
There we go. So talk your prop bets, you degenerates.
TJ, my number one prop bet. I'm gonna hit you with it. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
Debo
Tails.
Samuel.
Oh, sorry.
Are you ready?
Debo Samuel. Oh, there you go. Debo Samuel rushing yards over under 16.5. I'm going over. I think that is a huge bet. I know he's been hurt, but this is Super Bowl. There's no tomorrow. There is no game next week, and Debo Samuel is going to be full on blown. I think you got to throw everything at him. 16.5 yards. He breaks one run, it's 20 yards easily. So I know over 16.5. Debo Samuel. That's my first one. I have more, but I'm going to give it to TJ.
So, I mean, I'm just going very simple. I'm going to throw $100 out there because while that may seem low to you degenerate fucks out there, I have a lot of Super Bowl boxes going. I have a lot of money invested in Super Bowl boxes. So I'm just going to do something very simple, very quick. Just, my 1 unit bet is usually about $25. So my first bet was going to be Kansas City Chiefs money line and Pacheco first touchdown score. $25 get you 183 bucks and 24 cents. Next is going to be Kansas City Chiefs money line and Travis Kelce. $25 get you. Travis Kelce 2 touchdowns. $25 get you $206.14. Chiefs first drive field goal attempt and 49ers first drive punt. $25 get you $250. And this is on FanDuel, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. And then I just because it's plausible, it's possible, it's not crazy to think that this could be the outcome. Each team to score 1 touchdown and 1 field goal each half. Fuck it. $25 to win $650. Why not? Why not?
I would say
obviously I'm going heavy on KC. I think Kansas City's going to win. Yeah. Why do I think Kansas City's going to win? Because I hate fucking Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and that whole fucking saga that's going on. I just can't stand it. And the writing's on the wall. KC's going to win because the NFL and the Super Bowl is fucking scripted.
Nick, do you have any picks or are you just going to?
I was going to say with regard to what you said about Debo Samuel and it being the Super Bowl, I only had one real thing to say about it. So I don't know if you guys heard that. Oh, you can hear that? Oh, that's awful. Hold on. I'll do one better for you. Hold on.
Did you fart?
I did. It was awful.
You're just quiet. You're like, what is this for you? Silence.
Wait, hold on.
You got to pull it up on the screen. There you go.
Last game of the year, Brent. Can't hold anything back now.
I know.
That's a good one.
Last game of the year, Brent. Can't hold anything back now. And you're absolutely right. As far as bets, I don't have a problem with gambling like you guys do. So I don't gamble on things that I can't actually control. So like as TJ would say, he's not afraid to fly, even though he absolutely is. I'm not afraid to gamble. I'm not going to gamble in a game that I don't have. Like I'll gamble like Pete Rose, where I'm playing the game and I'll lay a bet down in the middle of the game because I actually have a say in the outcome. I'm not gambling. Like I'll you guys have been with me where I've sat at the craps table and I've thrown money down on the table and I've played craps. But at that instant, I can hold dice in my hand. I can throw the dice. You know what I mean?
Eventually, but most of the time, everyone else is throwing the dice.
You know what though? I can get a feel off of Grimace on the other side of the table throwing that dice.
That is a reference to my cousin Brian, who made the stick man at the craps table. I made the stick man literally stop doing his job and like pull the stick off the table and walk away hysterical laughing because my cousin's a rather big guy, not fat, but tall, big muscular bastard that he is, beating me up my entire childhood. And we're rolling dice, and my cousin's giving me the business, and the stick man's standing right next to my cousin Brian, and he's just giving me shit. And he's wearing a fucking big purple shirt, and I'm like, oh, why don't you just shut the fuck up and roll the dice, Grimace?
All right, let's get something clear. He's not called the stick man. He's a croupier.
Croupier, the stick man.
Whatever, he's a stick man. If I said croupier,
90% of our audience would be like, the guy might have to go to the bathroom. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I would.
Stick man, what is he fucking blind on the table? Like,
the stick man makes sense because you know what it is. The guy with the stick. That's
Thank you.
The stick man. I would be lost.
Isn't the stick man the guy that taught Daredevil how to fight?
Yeah, I think he is. But my other bet would be Travis Kelce. I know you don't like him, TJ, but the man gets his yards. I think he's at 70.5 right now.
Okay.
Over under receiving.
I can verify the guy that taught me how to fight was in fact the Stick Man.
His name was Stick, but okay.
72.5 yards.
His name is Stick Man.
Travis Kelce has gone over his yardage in the last 8 of his 9 games. I'm sorry, 8 of his last 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pretty solid, pretty reliable. Patrick Mahomes and him have that relationship. They're gonna connect a lot during this game. And if you watch the AFC Championship, he actually hit all of his props, like receptions, 7.5, and yardage within the first half. So he's a guy Patrick Mahomes is going to go to. He relies on him. Right. You can't trust the other guys. Rashee Rice is playing better. If Kadarius Toney is playing, he's not going to go to him. They do not trust that guy. Other thing is Pacheco. I think Pacheco rushing yards. That's the guy they've been heavily relying on late in these games, especially when they get a little bit of a lead, trying to kill some clock there. He's at 67.5 yards. I like that as well. Going over on that as well for Pacheco. Just seems like they just run with them, right? They
no, absolutely. But it's funny. So I was looking at the alternative yards for Pacheco, and the money just wasn't there. You'd have to parlay it with something else. It's just you'd have to get above 120 yards to actually make the bet worthwhile. So it's at that point, it's like I don't think he's going to run fucking wild on the 49ers like that. I don't think he's going to have a 150-yard game. So
no, he's not having anything crazy like that. But I think
that's what I mean. But the 60-something yards, absolutely. That's a good bet. But what was that? That was what, minus 110, right? That's the over-under break even. Yeah,
minus 110 for those. And then here we go. Picking a winner here. You have the money line is still in favor of San Francisco, minus 130. The Chiefs are plus 110. They're getting plus 2.5. San Francisco's getting minus 2.5. In this game, it just seems to me Patrick Mahomes has been to the Super Bowl 4 times in his short 6-year career. All right, the guy's won it twice. It's tough to bet against Patrick Mahomes. The only time you didn't bet against, if you didn't bet on Patrick Mahomes and lost was because Brady was on the other side in the Super Bowl, right? So Brock Purdy versus Patrick Mahomes, and you got to think there's this X factor. This guy knows how to get it done. He's won twice before. You got to believe in Kansas City here. And I know with the plus money, I mean, how can you as an underdog? Kansas City as an underdog is winning lately.
Dude, I'm amazed that it's not a pick 'em just because of the 49ers versus Green Bay game, right? That in my mind, kind of that's what's pushing me towards Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kansas City, like you said, Patrick Mahomes has been there 4 times. You're going to go with what you know versus a team that against Green Bay eked out a win.
Yeah,
so that's where my mind is.
Yeah, and that's what I think about too. They eked out a win, and then the Lions kind of blew that game. And then NFC Championship. Mm-hmm. This should be Kansas City 100%. Versus Lions right now. I mean, San Francisco. I mean, I know Brock Purdy. He plays pretty well. He's got really good weapons. Kyle Shanahan has a lot of pressure on him to win this game because he hasn't been able to get it done. But I mean, not only Patrick Mahomes, we're talking about the offense here. The Kansas City defense is very good. And people forget about it. They're very underrated. People always talk about Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. Chris Jones is an incredible, one of the best defensive players right now in the NFL, is Chris Jones. And he's on Kansas City's team. You got to bet on the fact that it's not just Patrick Mahomes, but it's a team game. You have defense and offense, and that defense Kansas City is very good. And I think you gotta ride with Kansas City, especially them being underdog here.
Since you brought up Detroit, did you see all the Dan Campbell memes?
Yeah.
My favorite one was him on The Price is Right, and he spins 95 cents. He's like, I'm going to spin again.
That's awesome. That's basically what he did. I mean, he kicks those 2 field goals. We got to say it was a different ballgame. That game is very different.
Yeah, listen, I understand Detroit's – I understand where they were coming from, right? I understand where the numbers go, and you had to hear from the announcers nonstop. Well, the numbers say to go for it on 4th down. The numbers say to go for it on 4th down. But when you're in the playoffs and there's no tomorrow, you put fucking points on the board. You do.
Especially on the road, and you're up, too, at that point. Yeah, I think they're up. They might just give up a score, but still. I mean, you're still up at that point. You're on the road. Get points to the board. Everyone knows that. When you're on the road, points on the board. Doesn't matter if it's 3 points, touchdown. Anything that helps you to help get you to the end result of winning that game, you got to do it. But so Super Bowl, my pick is going to be Kansas City. I know it might be, I don't know, kind of feel like going with the crowd. I think a lot of people going on Kansas City. But what do you guys think? How do you guys rooting? What is your rooting interest in this game?
I'm rooting for San Francisco because like Kansas City has like the 4 biggest villains in the NFL right now. Yeah. Five biggest villains in the NFL between all of Mahomes' family, Mahomes, his brother and his wife,
his dad,
right? His drunk dad. Oh fuck! I forgot about his father. Shit, Pat Mahomes getting in trouble. So the 6 biggest villains in the NFL right now. But the whole Mahomes clan, everybody named Mahomes for that matter, except for his wife, except for his mother. Excuse me,
and his daughter. I
didn't even know he had a daughter.
Yeah,
they have progeny. Fuck, we're screwed.
Did you see that they announced right before the Super Bowl hits? Brittany Mahomes is going to be in the fucking Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
Is she going to be this year's tranny?
Dude, it might as well be. I'm not. Listen, you do whatever you want. It's your body. It's your choice. I don't give a shit, right? You know, like. But if I'm making multi-million dollars, I'm not letting my wife go fucking half naked on Sports Illustrated for every other guy to oogle at. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, do you need that much attention?
She does.
Desperately olive oil.
But
weird look.
Yeah, I would not want to watch that. So it's fine.
But yeah, it's definitely so you've got the Mahomes clan, all 4 of them, right? Except for his mom and daughter, and then you got Kelsey and his wag, who doesn't really like football. She's just there cheering when everybody else cheers. They're the 6 biggest villains in the NFL. They you gotta root against them. Plus, my cousin is a fucking Chiefs fan, like because he ended up living in Kansas City, so he's a Chiefs fan. Coincidentally, when they started winning fucking football games,
is he a Royals fan?
Yeah.
At least he went across the board.
But to be fair, they won the World Series at that time too. So like,
yeah, but now he's fucked.
We're talking about the '90s fucking Royals here.
I understand, but still, he's kind of fucked now. So enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
So we got me and you for KC, TJ, and then Nick's on San Francisco.
I'm not for KC. I just think they're going to win.
Yeah, I think KC's going to win because that's what the script says. But
right,
I want San Francisco to win.
So read and interest are probably all for San Francisco, but we all feel like our pick's going to be Kansas City. Right? I'm
not going to be mad if none of my bets hit and fucking the 49ers win.
Oh, I agree with you. I'll be like, all right, cool.
I just don't think that's how it's going to play out.
Oh, anytime touchdown score Christian McCaffrey. I don't even care if it's minus 200. Just bet.
It's like minus 250, I want to say, or something like that. Yeah. Something fucking stupid. But
well,
yeah, obviously.
Christian McCaffrey for 2 touchdowns. That's all.
No, I like it. I like it.
We're running out of time here. We thank y'all for joining us. We'll catch you again next week. Again, I got something special coming next week. We might have a special guest next week as well. What's up, Rook?
Don't forget now it's not the Fantasy Corporation Network. It's that Sports Podcast Network. TSPN. We're having Super Bowl show. I'm on it. I joined with Mr. LeDuc, who usually chimes in on our show here. And is it LeDuc or LeDuc?
It's LeDuc, but it's the Mr. Mallard.
Mr. Mallard,
right.
And Bud, and we interviewed the Chef Brian Duffy, who was a man. So really cool interview. I made a couple drinks for everybody, getting ready for the Super Bowl. So check it out.
Yeah.
Very
Super
nice.
Bowl Sunday. Watch that show, TSPN. Adios.
Oh.